like you're in control to a point, but majority of your life is planned out the way your higher self planned it out to be. And you wonder why things happen. Like bad things happen to you and you're wondering why that happened. And then years go by and you realize why everything played out the way it needed to, because you were supposed to learn that karmic lesson, or you're supposed to learn that task. That's why everything happened the way it needed to. And you're like, what is the purpose of my life? Because some people have everything and then you have nothing, and you're like, what does that mean? But you're content with nothing because you know you're going to get everything at some point. It's just a matter of time that you're going to get it all. It could take years, it could take days, it could take minutes. It's interesting how that all plays out. And you see all these people on the internet that their life is just perfect, but behind the scenes it's not. It's interesting how that happens. That your life is exactly what it needs to be at that moment. You're supposed to experience exactly what you're supposed to experience at that point. And you know that you're doing what you need to do every moment of the day because it's all planned out. Your higher self makes you go through things to teach you what you need to learn in that moment. Sometimes you're very frustrated why things played out the way it did, but it's all part of the story that you're supposed to have. And you're supposed to experience what you're supposed to experience so you can teach people from your experiences that you went through, the horrific ones, the horrible ones where you were a traumatized little kid, but now you know that you went through that experience so you could teach somebody from there, that place of being hurt or being traumatized, because you know it's all part of what you need to learn. And sometimes you don't always like what you went through, but it's all part of the plan, because when you sit back and think about everything that you went through, it's got you where you are right now. The heartache, the trauma, the pain, the sad moments, the tears running down your cheeks because you're so overwhelmed with what's going on, you don't know what to do. But in that moment of tears running down your face, you're surrendering to the process that you've been in, and you realize that this is exactly where I need to be right now, right here. And I need to experience this. I need to feel what I need to feel so I can show people that it's possible to overcome my life goals, because you chose the life goals that you wanted and you want to be different. But you get caught up in this old form of thinking because you're not where you want to be yet. And it's a process. Everything's a process to get where you want to go. And sometimes you're like, it's so difficult. Why is it so hard to get where I want to go? And some people just put their ice skates on and it's just smooth sailing for them. But there's a reason that you had a difficult time, because you had to break all those generational traumas. You had to break all that generational fear and heartache and discomfort that was happened, that was on your bloodline, that you needed to overcome. And that's why your life might be more difficult than other people, because what you had to go through. You might have had to clear 100 years, 1,000 years of trauma because nobody else did it before you. So you understand exactly what you're supposed to do because your life is so hard because of what you had to overcome, what you had to accomplish, what you had to change, tweak, rewrite. And I think that's the beauty of it, is realizing that sometimes it's not as glamorous as you want it to be, because every time you had a setback or some kind of experience that made you doubt everything that you were shown or taught, it's got you where you are right now. Because things happen that are wrong, unfair, unjust, but you didn't give up. As much as you want to give up, you don't give up. You might even not be capable of not giving up. Is not an option for you. You are incapable of doing that. You are so passionate about what you need to do that sometimes you just want to throw in the towel and give up, and you're like, nope, I can't do that. This is really hard and painful, but I don't want to give up, because it's going to start getting better and better. It's going to get, I'm going to be where I need to be. I'm going to accomplish what I need to accomplish. And maybe people around you don't understand what you need to do, because it's not their journey, it's your journey. And I think that's the beauty of it, is realizing that sometimes you have to do things that nobody around you understands, and they'll talk shit about you, and they'll put you down, and they'll say, oh, you don't know what you're doing, you don't know what you're talking about, you're an idiot, you're incompetent, you're stupid, you're just, don't listen to them, they don't know what they're doing. But sometimes you need to say what you need to say, and it's their choice what they're going to do with the information, because they're either going to listen or they're going to roll their eyes and walk away. And maybe sometimes rolling their eyes and walking away will get the wheels turning in their brain, realizing that what they're doing isn't working, they need to do something different. And then that's the outcome that happens, because you planted a seed, you nourish something in their mind that needs to be different. And I think that's the whole process of getting awakened, is realizing that you need to make changes in yourself, because you need to be different than when you were before. When you were asleep, or you were unawakened, or you were hypnotized, whatever, however you want to phrase it, you were blind to all the things happening in the world, or your world. And then it's when you realize that, okay, I need to do different, I need to be different. And I had to go through all this stuff, this hardship, to teach me things, to make me trust myself that it's capable, that I'm going to get everything I need. Everything is going to play out the way it needs to. And I'm going to have what I need plus more. And maybe sometimes you'll get criticized or chewed on. But when you get to that point where you're like, I am exactly where I need to be in this moment, and I need to accept it and realize that, yes, I'm really angry, or I'm really tired, or I'm just frustrated with everything going on. You just need to Sometimes you just need to breathe and contemplate what's going on and why things are going on the way they need to be. And process of elimination what's going on because you are not in the same place you were before. It might feel similar, like there's similar characteristics of what you're seeing around you, but it's a totally different path because you're starting a new trail. Like a trail, it's new. You don't know where to turn, you don't know where to go. But when you're blazing a new trail, you need the right equipment. And if you don't have the right equipment, then you need to design it. Because in the olden days, they couldn't just go to the hardware store and build a scraper. They had to design it. They had to build it. And that's how things are today is there's a lot of things that are not manufactured the way they need to be because you're supposed to manufacture it because it hasn't been designed yet. And that might be your whole task in your world. What you need to do is design different equipment so you can go where you need to go and make a new trail. Because people are going to tell you what you should do and what you shouldn't do. And at the end of the day, who are you going to listen to? Are you going to listen to those people that don't know what they're talking about because they decided that 5 seconds ago they don't like who you are? Or are you going to try something new and say, hey, people aren't going to like me, and that's okay because they have freedom to voice their opinion and say what they want to say. But at the end of the day, if the Spirit calls you to do something, and this is what you're supposed to do, does it matter what those naysayers are telling you? And that's what you have to decide when you're out there starting a new trail. It's going to be difficult. But when you get to a point where you need to be exactly where you need to be, it's all going to fall into place like clockwork. It's all going to align itself the way it needs to align itself. And that's the beauty of it, is realizing that one person might hate you because they don't want to do what it takes to be the genuine human that they're supposed to be. But if you don't go out there and try something, how do you know if you're going to impact people if you don't try something? Because you're always going to get somebody that doesn't like you. And that's everybody that's famous at some point have haters. But when you feel called by the divine to do what you're supposed to do. You're not really worried about what happened to you because everything that's got you to this point, you have overcome it. As whatever difficulty level it was on. Like the first time you went snowboarding, you're like, those triple diamonds are so difficult. But then after going down them, you're like, that's a breeze because I have experience doing it now. And it's the same thing like that in every aspect of it. Is when it's new, you don't really know exactly how to feel or what to do, and you might do things stupid, or you might break something, or you might damage something the first time you do something. But the aspect of it is when you get to a point where you have experience, you're capable of doing it. Like you're like, why is this so difficult? It's not. It's just overcoming the mindset that you thought it was difficult at that time, but realizing it's not. And saying, I am capable of doing anything. And some people are going to hate me. And that's not really my problem. That's not really my problem if people hate me. That's their problem. Because how I see myself is more important than how other people see me. Because some people might just want to project because they're too insecure to resolve their own issues. And it's like that wherever you go. If you're taking over new territory or you're taking over new continents, it's going to feel foreign, it's going to feel weird. But then after you got an experience in that, you're just at peace with it because you're like, this is where I need to be. This is who I need to be. This is exactly where I need to be. And that's the beauty of it. Having the confidence to be like, I can do this, even though everything around me feels weird and foreign and odd. But if I don't do something different, then I'm going to get the same results. But if I do something different, like journal what's going on with me and see where it takes me, it's kind of like that process of checking in with yourself and saying, I am confident enough to talk and say what I need to say. And there's going to be people that don't like me or talk shit about me. And that's okay because they're just projecting what's internally going on inside of them. And they don't have the balls enough to overcome it themselves. They just want to get angry and say, hey, this is what you should do. But then after you realize what's going on, you're not really worried about it because you know. And that's the beauty of the whole process, is realizing that. Realizing why things happen the way they need to happen. Why you go through the process that you go through. Because sometimes it doesn't make sense in the moment, and a year goes by and you're like, that makes sense. Like, Why did that job fall apart? Why did that relationship fall apart? Why did that dynamic in the family fall apart? Like, it makes perfect sense why. And being scared and being like, I feel scared in this moment because I don't really know what the outcome is, but trusting that the process is going to work itself out because you decided to put the energy in to overcome whatever the issue is, and saying, I can do this. I don't really know what to do at the moment, but if I keep showing up for myself and keep being the person that I need to be and being genuine and loyal and respectful, it's all going to play out the way it needs to. And it's like that. It's beautiful like that because you're going to realize the late nights of not sleeping are going to be worth it, because when you get to your ultimate goal where you want to be, whatever that is, for every person is different, you're going to look at it and be like, wow, I've accomplished what I wanted to accomplish. And yes, it was challenging at times, but I chose never to give up. I chose to put my head down and say, I am going to do this. This is what I need to do to get where I want to go.